Hi everybody, I'm back, and yes, I finished the last video with kind of speaking through my symptoms and talking about the first kind of sign of the chronic symptom and me waiting to see the ENT. Looking back at my journey and also some of the videos that I've posted in the communities, it's been really helpful for me with these videos because it's just given me a bit of structure in terms of what happened and the dates, because in my head now I've got like this happened, that happened, that happened. But I actually posted quite a few videos in these in the Vestibular Migraine community groups on Facebook, and I rewatched them today and I was like, oh my gosh, number one, I looked cringe, but number two, I just wanted to help, and it kind of helped me to identify some of the dates that I was a bit unsure of and a bit sketchy. So going back to the first video when I mentioned that I had the first chronic symptom in November 2021, it was in October 2021, and yeah, so, and then waiting to, and the referral that went through from the doctors, my first appointment I had was in March, and that wasn't with the consultant, it was with the balance team, and so before that appointment I had an episode at work, and I think I mentioned as well in the last video that I went on a low salt diet, and all of the diets and the exercises and the new way that I lived my life and me feeling better, which is what I mentioned in the previous video, is actually taken from a book that everybody shared in the Vestibular Migraine Facebook group. If you look down like to 2022, you'll see everyone purchased this book called, I think it was just called Vestibular Migraine, because I think at that point I didn't know it was vestibular migraine, but it was pointing towards that, or Meniere's disease. And so I purchased that book, and some of the practices that I did at that time were taken from that book, which was why I felt a lot better. It's quite funny though, because as we go on, it links to why I felt better through reading that book, through reasons now that I know why I did, rather than it being the actual me limiting salt and me doing the exercises and me thinking and being less stressful about things. It links to the approach that I kind of practice today, but that will make more sense as these videos go on. So so going back to before my appointment at the balance clinic, I went for lunch again with another birthday party at work, and went for lunch, and I had fish and chips, and they were quite salty, and after I ate those fish and chips, I had an episode of a migraine episode in the car, and I had to call my dad, and he picked me up because I couldn't drive back, because I work about 40 minutes from I work 40 minutes from home. So I went to the hospital, and I waited 7 hours to see a doctor. She mentioned about my referral and that I had to wait, and I was trying to say to her that, I can't live like this. This is really stressing me out. I can't think. I can't drive. I'm dizzy all the time. I've got tinnitus, and sometimes it's not there, sometimes it's there. None of the days are the same. Like I was crying. It was quite dramatic, because you know how it feels. You feel like your life's about to end, because when you've got an illness, it's in your head. It's it's just awful, and it's debilitating. It's depressing, especially when you've got a family and you've got a job and you've got to manage a team and all that. So anyway, I left that appointment, and she said that I would get called by like a drop-in ENT clinic, and I didn't get called that week. And she said 48 hours, and I didn't get called. So after that time period, I called the hospital and I complained and said, I need to see somebody. I really need to see somebody now, because my life is at a standstill at the moment, and I need someone to help me. Please help me. And so then they got me into the balance clinic earlier than my appointment. And so when I went to the balance clinic, they also mentioned they wanted to rule out Meniere's disease. So I had an hearing test. My hearing was fine. I had my ears, had this suction thing where they kind of cleaned out your ears, and then they spoke to me about kind of the things I could try, and they also mentioned the low salt diet, and they prescribed me some medication, migraine medication. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm guessing I'll probably put it on this video there. Don't you just love technology? So I do not like taking medication. When I had like Implanus. They put me on steroids. I hated taking them. And anyway, that's another story, but I didn't want to take this medication. I believe the body can heal itself. But anyway, I was that bad that I took this medication and it knocked me for six. The medication made me feel worse than vestibular migraine. How ironic is that? But they did say at my appointment that they thought I had vestibular migraine. And so, yeah, that was my diagnosis. That's what they were investigating, and that's how I found out that I had vestibular migraine. See you in the next video.